Welcome to the Ascend Growth AI podcast, where we mix smart growth moves with a little AI magic. I'm Teresa. Let's dive in. For today's guest, we have David Morris, owner of Been There, Dump That in St. Louis, and he also has extensive experience in commercial real estate. He's built a thriving waste removal business known for its fast, friendly service and clean residential friendly dumpsters. So, David, thank you so much for being here today.
Sure. Glad to be here.
How about you start by sharing your journey with us?
Sure. Well, like you said, I spent 35 years or so in commercial real estate, office leasing, investment sales, and retired in 2019 and was exploring alternatives that would keep me busy and, just have fun with it type of thing. So I came across Been There, Dump That through a fraternity brother of mine I was at a reunion. I'd been in prayer for a long time as far as what my next step would be. And my fraternity brother handed me his business card. Has Been There, Dump That. I said, "What's this?" He says, "Yeah, my wife and I bought this franchise for Omaha 11 months ago, and it's going really well." And so that's kind of what started the thing.
Wow. So you've been doing this since 2019.
We opened in 2020, yes, with one truck, 24 dumpsters, and me driving, which you don't want to see happening. I grew up in cufflinks and suits, so I'm just not used to diesel and that stuff.
Right.
But as a franchise owner, you experience it firsthand.
Yes. Pretty self-explanatory in the name, but for those in the audience who don't know, what has been there? What does
Well, Been There, Dump That is a franchise out of Toronto, and the founder is a contractor who got so fed up with his dumpster companies not showing up and destroying driveways and stuff like that. So he devised a plan where he actually said, "I'll do driveway protection." He put boards down and he put a little rock at the end of the board to tell him when he's at the end of the board, so the dumpster never touches the driveway. So that's been enhanced. Now we have wood blocks at the end of it, but we put four boards, 2-inch boards, 2-inch by 45-inch boards down on the driveway, so dumpster never touches the driveway. It prevents scrapes, scars, rust, that kind of stuff.
okay? And I guess that's a common complaint then for customers who usually hire.
Well, contractors, yeah, especially contractors and homeowners too, and they take pride in their driveway. And if you place, and the dumpsters, our lightest dumpster is probably 1.5 tons. If you think about placing a dumpster with wheels on it, 4 points on an asphalt driveway when the temperature's 85 degrees outside, it's obviously the asphalt's hotter than that. There's no reason why it's not going to sink in. So
Mhm.
the wood boards help dissipate the weight, eliminate scrape, scars, rust, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a competitive advantage that we definitely have.
Okay. And how many franchisees are there?
The United States, maybe 140.
Oh, wow.
Canada, I think 120.
Wow. So it's a pretty big franchise, and those are big numbers.
Yeah, they're ranked. I think they said 147 in the Fortune 500 franchises.
Oh, wow.
So
Congratulations.
we're the highest rated franchise dumpster company in the United States.
Who are the ideal clients and customers? Like, or do they typically go to you?
We consider ourselves like the Starbucks of dumpster rentals. So people call us a lot of times competing about rate, and like, "Oh, I got a dumpster for less." I was like, "Okay, enjoy yourself." But if somebody wants care, attention, delivery, pickup, disposal, everything responsibly, that's how we make a difference. And actually, we have, I think, close to 450 5-star Google reviews. And I think our next competitor, when I look at it, is like 37. So a lot of people will be searching and say, "Yeah, what dumpster company?" And they see how many 5-star reviews we have. And okay, obviously the company to go with. So
Yeah. No, that's great.
benefit from that.
What geographic area do you cover?
The entire St. Louis MSA. So for those who know St. Louis, St. Charles, St. Louis County, and southwestern Illinois.
For all external factors like inflation, taxes, consumer spending, et cetera, has that impacted your business in any way?
No, we opened during COVID,
Right.
January of 20, and obviously I didn't know any better, and we didn't know COVID was coming.
Yeah.
Um, it actually ended up benefiting us because people were converting rooms into offices and having to get rid of furniture and stuff like that. And we were a no touch kind of
Mm.
business. So it ended up well from that regard. People got to get rid of crap. I mean, that's what we do. Mom and dad are moving to a retirement home, and we got to get rid of their stuff, and that's where we fill a gap. Contractors actually are about half of our business. Home remodelers, kitchen and bath guys, type of thing, because most of the time, many times, they're dealing with homeowners that are particular about their driveway, and they want driveway protection. They want the dumpster picked up and dropped off as scheduled, and we fulfill that. So we get so many referrals from contractors from other contractors. So it's a very good situation.
No, that's nice.
Reliability, because in I don't track our competition, but apparently reliability is a huge problem
Mm.
in the industry.
In terms of like people just not showing up when they're
Well,
supposed
the
to.
dumpster not being there when the contractor says deliver it by 9 o'clock on Monday, and it's not there. It's not there until Tuesday, type of thing. And
Jeez.
pick it up, and homeowners are screaming at them because there's dumpsters on my driveway. It's been here for 2 days. So that's we pick up and drop off when we.
Do you currently use AI, or does the entire franchise use AI?
The franchise is starting to use AI from the standpoint of all our recordings, reservations are recorded just to track kind of personality and things. So apparently they're using AI to analyze those calls,
Mm.
because there are hundreds of calls, to be able to digest hundreds of calls into how productive are you as far as closing a deal from they're called dumpster consultants, or ladies who answered our phones.
Mm.
How effective are you, and what can we do to improve your call ratio?
Yeah. Has it been helpful? Have you found it helpful so far?
Sure, little tweak. I mean, taking a salesperson from a 40% close from somebody who has a 20% close, that it drops to the bottom line. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Good training.
That's good. What's working well for you in Been There, Dump That right now? What are you proud of?
Well, again, the franchisor recently um, relaunched everybody's websites, nationally, internationally, I guess, for that matter. The SEO compatible, much more SEO compatible, whatever. I don't know what the word
Yeah.
is. And apparently, St. Louis has had the biggest response and best REO of any been there, dump that operator in the U.S. So that's had a huge impact on us, because it reduces our need to spend dollars on our Google advertising.
On the flip side, what's been frustrating?
Always the HR stuff, people not showing up, like just not showing up, and we have 10 work orders for them to deliver and pick up, and they don't show up. So that's a frustration, but
Yeah.
we cover it. We're good
Okay.
at covering up.
Do you step in those cases, or your team's big enough where you don't have to?
No,
Okay.
I hate driving. I
Oh,
hate driving, and
okay.
everybody knows that. We'll shut down before I have to drive again, but I
Okay.
know literally, but it's not a good thing if I have to get in a truck.
Okay.
I
Okay.
drove for the first 6 or 8 months, type of thing. I had to, because entrepreneur, but
Yes.
again,
Yes.
suits and cufflinks. I don't know hydraulics. I don't know dualies. I don't know that kind of stuff.
I guess then if you didn't know that, and you don't have to know that to own a franchise, but what was it about then that Been There, Dump That you delight?
It was the model. I'm not enamored by dumpsters by any stretch, but it was the model.
Right.
So, been there, dump that. Did not have an operator in St. Louis,
Mm.
and St. Louis is a pretty big dot on the map not to have an operator. And so I stepped up and started one territory. Like I said, 24 dumpsters, which is a starter set, and one truck. My wife answering the phones, me driving. But it was the five things. I'll get to this. The five things that I applied to before I even looked at anything was low entry of reasonably low entry of cost,
Mhm.
low HR, didn't land a lot of people.
Mm.
Something was scalable, something that's going to grow. No retail hours. I'm unlocking a door in the morning to let people in or whatever. And then calls come in organically. I'm not cold calling, having to generate business. And when I
Hmm.
looked at this model, I mean, it fit everything I was interested in. And we started with one truck in 2020, 24 dumpsters. Now we have, well, after 10 or 11 months, I bought the rights to the entire St. Louis market, because the end game is to sell. And
Mm.
I wanted to protect whoever might come in. If they want to sell off Illinois, great, whatever. Now we have 162 bins, rights to all of St. Louis, 8 trucks, 10 drivers, 4 ladies answering phones.
Wow. So 8x your business in
It's that.
5 years. You increased your business by 8 times by in 5 years.
Yeah, we've had double digit increase over the past five. And, in my opinion, we only have scratched about 15% of this market. We're just like,
Right. Wow. Well, congratulations. That's a very inspiring example of what can happen if you start your own business.
yeah.
That's great.
Well, I'm out there. I mean, it takes a personal. I mean, you have to get out. I mean, it's funny because I listen to other operators and other markets and say, I'm in the truck and I'm driving, I'm trying to make this thing work, and but I'm not getting any leads and stuff. So I'm a marketing person. So I really love marketing from a standpoint of just either one-on-one or chambers of commerce or whatever it might be. So yeah, I get out quite a bit. We belong to 16 chambers of commerce right now, on two boards and stuff. So getting the word out is really important.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. I guess my question I was going to ask is like, how was it moving from corporate to your own business?
Well, I'm grateful for the experience I had negotiating leases and contracts because that negotiating a contract is important.
Hmm.
You know, being a small business owner versus working for corporate, yes, you have the, yeah, I control my own destiny, but you have other issues too with, I have the responsibility of now employing what, 12 or 13 people,
Right.
making payroll, those kinds of making the working environment pleasant for everybody, bonuses, incentives. So just trying to put myself in their shoes type of thing. It's tough because obviously, being a driver for a dumpster rental company may not be the most glorious thing in the world, but
Mm.
we really take care of them and we pay them well. And it's funny, my KPIs, key performance, is they was keep saying like your HR or your salary is kind of high. I was like, well, I take care of the people that take care of me, so
Right.
that's important.
Yeah, that is important. You mentioned KPIs. That was actually going to be my next question. As a business owner, what are the KPIs or metrics that you measure on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis?
Obviously, fixed costs are what they are. It's the intangibles that skew things a little bit. But having been in business now for 5 years, we everything's pretty stabilized. We really can expect it. We had a tornado come through St. Louis in June.
Oh, wow.
Category 3. Yeah, it did a lot of damage, and we benefited a lot from that. But yeah, the KPIs are just again just it's how you compare to other. That's why I say when my HR costs were high, somebody's like, "Well, why your HR costs?" That's well because they're doing stuff I don't want to do.
Yeah, you have to keep them happy. Where do you want your been there, done that to be 6 to 12 months from now?
Sold.
Sold. Okay, that's a very clear goal.
We are actually for sale right now, so.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, we've had double digit. I know it sounds silly, but we've built the infrastructure on this thing that a operator spends 7 or 8 years trying to build out. But I have the infrastructure now. We have the capacity. Just need something. I'm just ready to retire again.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like it's a very successful business. So
It
hopefully you
has
get
been.
a lot of.
We've got quite a lot of interest
Oh, good.
in
Okay. I can imagine there would probably be a bidding war on that.
hope so.
Yeah. If you were to start over again, what advice would you give your younger self?
Good question. Don't stress.
Mm,
Don't stress as much. It's all going to work out.
yeah.
That's been my theme through my whole entire life.
Hmm.
But yeah, being a small business owner and take responsibility of employees and that kind of stuff is, I guess, a better question. But what things didn't you anticipate when you bought the business? The HR stuff is always, you always think when you buy these things, it's going to be like this, but
Right.
it doesn't always happen. So there are accidents, there are things that happen that you just have to deal with.
Right. What tips would you give to those who want to aspire to own their own business one day?
Do it.
Just do it.
No, actually, it's been very rewarding because I know corporate America, it can be very, very frustrating. If you're interested in starting a new business, a new franchise, the SBA loan is the way to go.
Okay.
That's the way I went. I've been in commercial real estate. I've been in banking. A allows you to loan against future projections. It's not based on your historical. That and been there, done that. Fortunately, is a preferred contractor among the SBA lenders, so it worked out well. And that helps a lot. If you're working with a franchise that has already been pre-approved, sort of categorically with SBA, that helps a lot in accelerating the process. Yeah, the SBA 7A, if you have no history in the I had no history, I had no interest and no nothing about dumpsters, and uh, grateful for the support of my franchisor. But the 7A loan, SBA 7A loan, it's expensive money, but it gets you on the board. You can always refinance, a year or two later when rates start to go down for traditional lending stuff. But yeah, 7A.
Okay. I heard that takes a long time though, right? More no, it doesn't? Okay.
If you're prepared, you've got to have your
Yes.
personal financial statement. You have to have your tax returns and all this kind of stuff, and a forecast. You have to
Mhm.
have a business forecast.
Yes. And the franchisor helps you with that, right? Or
Yeah, they can,
they
but
can. Okay.
yeah, you have to know kind of where you're going. Yeah, a good franchise will give you the basis of what usually with other markets the same size as yours will experience, and you could apply that to what you're trying to do in your market.
Do you wish that you started sooner with
Yes and no.
Mhm.
Yes, from the standpoint of being a small business owner and seeing this thing grow the way it has. And younger, I would have had the energy to see this thing through.
Mm.
I'm 64 now, and I'm just like, I retired once, now I want to retire again. So no, this actually my nephew, so to speak, in Kentucky, he bought a franchise. He called me
Mhm.
and he's like, "I heard about this been there, dump that." And he's in Lexington and been there, dump that. And he's launched. He's mid-30s maybe, and
Okay.
he's killing it. He's
Wow.
killing it. So
I know a lot of people when they jump from corporate to small business, they're scared of not having that paycheck, that steady paycheck, but this is a good example.
commercial real estate's 100% commission, so that
Mm.
didn't scare me. And the whole I retired from commercial real estate because I could financially. So this is, I'm going to say fun money, but yeah. But I on this investment, I've always been focused on equity. We really haven't paid ourselves,
Mm.
but I'm telling my wife, okay, at the end of the day, it's going to be equity. When we sell, it's going to be the cash that we have.
That sounds like you had a great plan. And if people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
D.Morris at BeenThereDumpThat.com. BINTHERE that.com. So
Okay, perfect. Well,
or
good.
BeenThereDumpThat.com. I'm sure you can find St. Louis.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, David, for being on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you got value, share it, tag us, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Catch you next time on the Ascend Growth AI podcast.